change the world.
This is a trend that will never be stopped.
The panel was about the nurturing of FinTech talent, and I think what was of topical interest was the scarcity of talent for banking, particularly in the advent of the FinTech revolution. The data certification pathway is unique in a couple of respects. One is for the bank, at the end of 2 to 3 years, it would enable us to develop internally 200 to 300 data analysts and data scientists for the bank. The other thing that's interesting is that we've opened up the data certification program to Singaporeans in general. So what this means is that any Singaporean who wishes to, upskill themselves in those areas can avail themselves of this knowledge. The rationale behind certification pathways is increasingly there are certain critical competencies that would be important regardless of the industry you're in. And data is one of them. The other one that we've just launched is cybersecurity and understanding of cyber risk and so on and so forth. So the idea behind certification is to provide, at the end of the day, individuals with a certain level of competency. That's why certification, so that they can be assured that they have achieved a certain level of proficiency, which then in turn translates into transferability across industries. In the space of FinTech, it is quite common for people to assume that talent means technical talent or people who are technologically advanced. It extends beyond technical competency. So personally, for me, I look at it in 3 different levels. One is, what is your understanding, your proficiency levels of technology, being able to appreciate technological advancements, and more importantly, to understand the relevance of certain key technologies for your sector. So that's level 1. The second level has to do with business as usual. I call this business level competency, understanding of strategy making. It has to do with the whole competency around understanding what business model is. How do you make money? How do you generate value? How do you capture value regardless of the situation at hand? It just so happens that the event right now we're talking about is FinTech and the disruption that FinTech poses to the banks. At the third level, which I think is very important regardless of the industry you're on, is what I call the metacognitive level. And we call this learning agility. Learning agility means learning how to learn. And this is a key competency, but it sits above all the other competencies, because if you imagine, if you are very good at learning, then it really doesn't matter what disruption brings forth. You are still able to ride the wave, remain relevant, and continue to contribute in the new future economy. So metacognitive skills is, I would say, becoming increasingly important. The challenge with that is that such skills are hard to acquire. They need to be nurtured, and the environment needs to be right to enable the individual and the organization to learn.